Welcome to another episode of the U.S. Kids Golf Mission Podcast. I'm John Kim, and a reminder, we're all here to help you and your family get the most out of your time together enjoying this great game and lifetime journey. Now, there are so many elements that go into making kids and family golf successful. We certainly can't do it alone. A huge part of this journey, your journey, is your experience at your local golf club. Now, with respect to that, on this episode, let's talk to a golf professional, one who has served in virtually every role at a club. What is the club's role in your family's journey? And what can they do to make you feel more welcome? And I should point out, we're not just talking to a golf professional. We are talking to the golf professional. At least according to the PGA of America, who kind of knows about these things. And they just named our guest today, Brian Crowell, as the 2026 PGA Professional of the Year. So while he may not speak for every golf professional out there, he's about as good a representative as you'll find for that side of the golf world. Now, quick side note, in 2005, just a mere 2 decades ago, Brian earned a U.S. Kids Golf Top 50 Coaches Award. And now he's the MC host of that same ceremony every year at the PGA show in Orlando. So talk about your consummate golf professional. And even more, he's not only a golf pro. This guy's a renowned broadcaster. He's an author. He's in a band. And even better, he's an awesome friend, both to me and to U.S. Kids Golf. You're really going to want to hear this. Stay with us. We'll come back with Mr. Brian Crowell. And we're here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brian Crowell. Brian, thank you so much for finding time to join us.
How you doing, John? This is great. I really appreciate being featured on the U.S. Kids podcast here. And I'm such a huge fan of that entire company from top to bottom. So this is going to be great.
Well, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. You're always busy. You are always a really busy guy. But I think the last few months have been maybe even a little bit more chaotic for you than most. Saw you in January. Where you got a pretty big honor, PGA Professional of the Year. Hey, I came prepared. I got props.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You guys see that? Okay. So Brian, what does that mean? And to you personally, professionally, just give us a little background on that and what in your career led up to that.
Well, you say being busy, but I try and make it into being productive. You know, you want to try and achieve things. You want to set goals. You want to make an impact. I'll sum it up by saying this. Being the PGA Professional of the Year is truly my Wanamaker trophy. It is my green jacket. It's my Lombardi trophy. It's really some incredible recognition, and not just for me, but also for my family. As you know, John, it takes a large team to bring that level of success together. And I could not be more thankful of the PGA and what they've done for me with this, not just with this award, but throughout my whole career. Golf has been very good to me, and I want to keep giving back as much as I can through the business. And that's something I set as a goal for myself every month, every year. And I just really want to make a positive impact wherever I can.
For folks watching or listening who aren't as familiar with some of the different organizations and the way that they kind of compartmentalize themselves and within the world of golf. The PGA of America is the PGA Professional. These are the industry executives that operate your clubs and give lessons. I've always said, and I've worked with the PGA of America very closely for over 10 years, the 2 biggest honors that they bestow are Ryder Cup Captain and PGA Professional of the Year. So that's who we have joining us today. So, Brian, I know you don't like talking about yourself, but I really had to bring that up.
Thank you, John. And I will say this, that I'm so fortunate to be the son of 2 educators. Both my parents were teachers, and growing up, they were teachers in the nearby area where I grew up. So the number of kids who went through their classrooms and went on through the high school and into college and into the community. And I always would pass these people and they would say, oh, say hello to your mom or say hello to your dad. They made such a huge impact on me. They really helped me when I needed it most. And, I think that's the point when I started to realize, golf is that same thing. We have that opportunity to make a strong impact on people. And in many cases, turn their lives around, make things better for them, put them on a great track. And I don't take it lightly. I feel like as golf professionals, we see so many kids and people come through our clubs, and every one of them is an opportunity to make someone feel better about themselves and to make them improve in areas of their life and certainly in their golf game. But it's just more than that, that. And I think this whole idea of teaching kids and what US Kids has done, focusing on the juniors out there, it's just the right move. It's the right move. And it feels good to be able to make an impact on people, and it pays itself back down the road over and over and over again.
Brian, I know there's a lot of people that just heard what you said, and their first thought is, I wish that guy was the pro at our club, or that guy was the pro at the club that I go to. One of the things that I hear from time to time from families that I meet out is that overwhelmingly, they love their pro. They love the guys at their course. Every once in a while, they may have some encounter, some engagement of some sort that they don't necessarily feel super positive about. Very rarely is it bad, but they just say, hey, why didn't they seem as enthusiastic about seeing me or seeing my kid as I would think they would? So I just want to kind of go through just real quickly, because you've worked just about every position at a golf club. When parents come in and they talk to a member of the staff, if they have a question, if they have a request, if they want to learn about what the club offers, it matters, or does it matter, who they are talking to? And I mean that from a golf pro perspective versus a superintendent perspective versus a general manager or director of golf. Real quick, just do those roles look at the family coming up to them at the club differently?
Let me answer that in a couple ways. Number one, you see this B on my chest. So I'm the general manager, the PGA general manager at Bally's Golf Links at Ferry Point in the Met section of the PGA, which I'm very proud to be a part of. When you're the PGA professional at a club, you are the ambassador for that club. You are the representative of that club. You represent the energy, the vibe, the excitement, the professionalism of that club. And, I in some cases, I hear what you're saying, John, and I turn this back on the clubs themselves with their hiring processes. It's very important to get a match, to find someone that shares the vision of the club and wants to promote the club in the right way. When you're in that position as a PGA professional at a club, you are, and this is not to take away from the other positions, because they are all vital to the success of the club, whether that be GM or superintendent or chef. We could go down the road here. They're all critical. But the PGA professional is in that point of contact most frequently. You are the face of the operation in many cases. So, it's public awareness, it's customer service. You've got to be on your game. You've got to be sharp. You've got to go into work and say, you know what? I'm representing the club. I'm going to create this positive environment. Everybody has a bad day, John. I mean, we all have those bad days. But man, you've got to find a way to have that bad day off-site. You've got to have it in your office. You've got to, if you've got some frustrations, you try your best to keep that from the public atmosphere and the environment you're trying to create. It's so important. I mean, that's the key to being at a club, is to feel welcome and to feel like you're excited and proud to be a part of this club. So yeah, you've got to be smiling. You've got to be sharp. You've got to learn names. You've got to create programs. You've got to create excitement. And that's what builds strength in a club. And it doesn't have to be a private club. I'm at a municipal facility. So I'm in New York City, and it's public access. So every day I'm meeting new people. And that's part of the reason I love this job. because my audience changes nonstop. And that's what the PGA professional has to keep in mind. And you got to build a team around you that fills the gaps. If you're a little light on teaching, get a strong teacher with you. If you're a little light on merchandising, get a strong merchandiser with you. If for some reason you need more help with your junior programming, for God's sake, hire more people for junior programming. That is never going to be a problem. There are interns, there are programs out there that would love to be a part of your operation. And I'll wrap this little piece up by saying I talked to my good friend David Ledbetter recently, and I said, what advice, David, would you give to PGA professionals out there that are just getting started or maybe have been in the game for a while but need some energy? He said, teach kids. I promise you, stay involved with the junior programs. There was a little trend, and you know this, John, because you're with an operation that helped to change this trend. But 15, 20 years ago, as you rose through the ranks of the PGA, you would get to a point where, well, I no longer teach the kids. I have an assistant that teaches the kids. Wrong. Okay, I'm saying that right now. If you're one of those pros and you're listening to this, make an effort this year, 2026, to get more involved with the junior program at your facility. Start looking for opportunities to teach kids, because that's what keeps you sharp. That keeps you strong. It helps you to simplify your message. If I'm teaching a junior golfer as a parent, and now as a grandparent, I might add, my fear is that young kid will walk out to the parking lot to meet mom and dad, and they'll get in the car and they'll be heading home, and mom will say, so what did you learn today? And the kid goes, I don't know. I have that nightmare vision in my mind when I'm teaching a kid. I really do. I'm imagining an hour later, are they able to recall what the most important point of the lesson was? Do they know what they should be working on? Did they have fun? And do they want to come back? And if they can relate all of that to their parents, I've just won. And I do that over and over and over again. And that's what showing interest and passion in the next generation is all about. And that's what pays dividends for your career. Every PGA professional, if you somehow moved away from teaching juniors, get back to it. It's one of the most rewarding parts of our job.
Brian, you covered so much, and there's a few different things that I want to get back to, but I do want to point out with that statement, about 20 years ago, right? 21 years ago, Brian Crowell, we're talking about him being this year's PGA Professional of the Year. Fantastic, right? Going to keep bragging about it.
Thank you.
20 years ago, Brian was a U.S. Kids Golf Top 50 kids coach. So he knows what he's talking about, guys, gentlemen, ladies.
You know what? Let me first of all say, can you show that magazine one more time? I just love that. Yeah, I keep reminding my wife that she's married to a cover model.
That's right.
No, but the
you're signing this for me, by the way.
The point is, and this was back in 2004, I think, when U.S. Kids first started this top 50 kids coaches. By the way, I love the word coach rather than teacher, but we could get into that later.
No, that's intentional, by the way. That is intentional. You know that, but yes, for those listening.
In 2004, this is why I was talking 15, 20 years ago, it was different. U.S. Kids was a pioneer here. Dan Van Horn, the whole team, I could go through the whole list of great employees and staff members and motivators in that team. But U.S. Kids created this top 50 list to really shine a light on the importance of great junior coaching. And I remember hearing about this. I was always a fan of the equipment, and I love what the clubs are all about and how they helped kids at that point in my career. But the teaching of kids and the coaching of kids was something that Dan really started to take a strong liking to, and he had a passion for it, and he created this top 50 list. And I remember submitting all my materials and getting everything together, and I entered for this top 50. I wanted to be on that first list, and I didn't make it. And by the way, John, I will say that not making it to that list in 2004 was probably one of the best parts of my career. That was more important than making it the following year in 2005, because it just said, wow, what could I do better? How can I be more impactful? How can I make a bigger difference in my junior programming? I remember I was at the Leawood Golf Club in Eastchester at the time, and we expanded that program from 6 kids to about 60. And we involved not just golf, but there was tennis and swimming. And with the help of a large team, I created this 3-part system. We had a summer camp that rivaled the best in the state. And to make a long story short, just I wanted to get better. And thanks to not making that initial list in 2004, I really worked on making a bigger impact, and I made it in 2005. And as far as I'm concerned, once a top 50 U.S. kids coach, always a top 50 U.S. kids coach. So that's been a very important bullet point on my resume for my entire career.
One addendum to that, and by the way, I'm going to have everybody, Dan and John Godwin and John Bryan and all of them, make sure that they hear all those nice words that you just said, Brian. One important addendum for everybody else watching, listening. Brian has, as you already know, as we've I mentioned in the intro, Brian has had a very distinguished media career. With all the demands on his time, every year in Orlando at the PGA show, we have a top 50 ceremony, and Brian has been kind enough to come back and MC that for us. So he has stayed connected, and even more, he has been a great encourager and supporter of all the new coaches, the new top 50s that have been coming up to the ranks. So thank you for that. Going back to, the very initial point and what you said about the PGA Professional as kind of the public face of the facility, and I think that that's really important. One of the encouragements I would have for parents is talk to the PGA Professional, talk to the head pro at the facility. Don't think that whoever you saw with a staff shirt on is the ultimate representative of the club. So the whole point of that is, I think there was one family that was excited to work in a bunker at a club that I am aware of, and one of the staff members was kind of letting them know, hey, we need to clean that bunker up. That wasn't the pro. That wasn't the GM. That wasn't the director of golf. That was somebody that was just trying to get home after they got that area cleaned up. Is it fair? Like, one of the great talks about golf now is this boom in golf. Some people call it a post-COVID boom. You can refer to it however you want.
It's now just a boom, by the way.
Yes, now just a boom, right? We've had a couple of people refer to it just as that. That's the new normal. So one of the challenges that U.S. Kids Golf has and when I say golf, just U.S. Kids Golf, not just as an organization, but our coaches, families for that matter, it's harder. It's harder than ever before to find space and room for kids golf. Brian, what's your thoughts on that? These headwinds that are facing kind of juniors and families and women and whatnot. Do you have any thoughts or perspective on how do we overcome that?
I think we are overcoming it, not as quickly as we need to, but the great thing about golf, John, going back to 2004, when I didn't quite get that honor of being a top 50 U.S. kids coach, in those years, there weren't many options. At that point in time, golf was very seasonal. I'm speaking as a Met section guy up here in the Northeast, but it was very seasonal, and it was very weather dependent, and it was very daylight dependent. And as you know, the boom that has grown and continues to grow is growing in all different areas, different sectors. So we've got simulators, you can golf 24 hours a day anywhere in the country. So our instruction needs to start to mirror that as well. So if, again, the PGA professionals who are listening, if you're not comfortable teaching in a simulator, then I would suggest go to a simulator place yourself, start to get comfortable with it, see what you can do to learn more about it, because that is a huge part of our industry going forward. Now, we remember Top Golf sort of taking it to another level. The range experience is a whole different level. We've got TGL, we've got YouTube Golf, and for this time in our lives, there is no shortage of opportunity in the world of golf, and the PGA Professional has to understand that and think ahead. And if you're at a club that doesn't have a simulator, you should be the first one to go to that board to say, you know what, I think we're missing the boat here. This is an opportunity for us to expand our program. We just have to look ahead. This is no different than the stock market, John. I mean, you've got to see where the trends are. You've got to see where things are growing and where they have the opportunity to grow. So I would urge all PGA professionals to get very, very comfortable teaching in simulators. Take some time. You know, there are those areas of the day and the week where you can sneak away and watch one of your fellow professionals in your section teach in a simulator. We've got these 32,000 PGA professionals around the country, and you're not going to find one that doesn't want to help you out. That's what's so great about golf. So find someone who has a simulator business and say, would you mind if I came over and watched what you do for an hour or two? Because what an opportunity you're missing if you're not on that game. I mean, the teaching that's going on, the coaching that's going on, the team building, we're going to have Help Our Patriots everywhere. The Hope program is incredible. In the Met section, Kelly, Clayton, Jeff, Caitlin, Dan, the whole crew here do such a great job. But we're doing Hope sessions in simulators. We're doing Hope sessions on Zoom so that we stay connected as much as possible. It's a whole new world, and golf has so many opportunities within that world, and we still haven't scratched the surface. I think it's going to continue to grow. We just have to, you know, look, I'm a traditional guy. I love the traditional parts of our sport, but you've got to keep an eye on all these things that are coming down the road. And if you can, get ahead of that. Be proactive.
You brought up the stock market, and in that same vein, I think you already answered this, but I want to just kind of crystallize it here. Right now, you're a buy on golf, right? Golf is a good investment. Golf is going to be even bigger in the years ahead than it is now. So you don't think we've peaked? You think that there's a big road ahead, a big opportunity here?
100%. And again, I think you're sitting below a logo that is a big part of that. I think right now, golf is being consumed in so many different ways, so many different apps and different channels, and you know, they're watching it on their phone. I'm so fortunate to work for CBS. I'm heading down to the Masters in a couple weeks, but the digital platforms that are available, watching featured groups, you can watch nearly every shot your favorite golfer hits whenever they're playing. It's incredible how you can follow the action these days. So that's appealing to the younger generation. The kids are getting excited about it, and they have different relationships with members of the LPGA Tour and the PGA Tour, the people who inspire them and motivate them. And it's more personality related than it's ever been. That's why it's so important for us to know that how we act in public and how we are perceived in public matters. Whether you're a PGA professional, whether you're John Kim, whether you're Bryson DeChambeau, what you're doing out there is noticed. And you've got to really imagine there's a camera on you at all times, because basically there is. We've got to take advantage of that. We also have to be careful of that. But I just think golf is at this moment where it's going to continue to rise. You're right. I'm buying those stocks in golf, and I'm buying stock in junior programs and junior golf, because the parents now are realizing more and more how much golf has to offer, and they're getting their kids into it at earlier ages, and that's just going to benefit those kids down the road. I mean, that's a cycle that we're very excited to be a part of as the PGA of America.
All right, Brian, I know your time's limited, but let's give one final thoughts from Brian Crowell, and this time to parents who are either thinking about or have just started to get their kids involved in the game. What can they look forward to? Give them a tip as to get the most out of this journey that they're going to share together.
The first is I would say be very careful of the people you introduce your juniors to. You brought this up earlier. You want to find the right professionals with the right energy and the right excitement and the right passion. This is no different than wanting your child to hang out with the right kids. You got to keep your eye on that. So if it's a program that is flourishing and has energy, man, you're picking the right program and the right PGA professionals and the right LPGA professionals. If it's not, see what you can do to help it, because you want to offer feedback and you want things to get better. It's what I've seen, John, in the past is a lot of times this waits until the end of the year, and you look back and you say, man, I wish the pro had done this, or I wish their junior program did this. Just say it. Get right in front of the game. And if you see things that you think could be better, share it with the PGA professionals that are running that program. If you are a parent out there who's getting your kids in golf, that is such a positive. That you're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. And you know what I said earlier, John, about having this mixture of fun, instruction, coaching, challenge, competition. I want these kids to get out on the golf course as quick as they can. You want them to experience the beauty of the game. It's not just a synthetic strip at the far end of a range. You want to get them out and involved in the game. So take them golfing with you. And I would say this, have them bring some friends with them. The kids love doing things with their friends. And if you can, create these moments out on the golf course with kids. And I'm saying that to parents and to PGA professionals. Scrambles, personal challenges, a little creativity. That's what you need to spend time doing. Find ways to get your kids energized by it. If you've got a kid who says, I want to go to the golf course today, you're on the right track. That is a good thing. Golf is such a powerful network for the rest of their lives. And obviously I'm passionate about it. And, you know, I want to quickly mention the success of Ava Chen. She's a young gal on our City Parks Foundation, and Bally's have teamed for a PGA Junior League that is absolutely incredible. This program is so huge. Mike Silverman, Bob Sorensen. There's this guy, Chris Brady, who coaches hundreds of these kids, and it's paying off. Ava is going to be at Augusta with me the Sunday prior to the final round in the drive, chip, and putt final. So we're so excited for her success and what she's about to experience. But the PGA Junior League, drive, chip, and putt, these are programs that are growing largely because of the foresight of U.S. kids and Dan Van Horn and what he saw was possible. So I can't thank you enough. I'm excited about the future of golf. I'm excited about the future of junior golf. And parents, get your kids involved. If it's not at the course, it's at the simulator. There are computer games. I don't care. Play Golden Tee with them. Get them involved some way. Pop Stroke, these locations that are coming around, mini golf, it all counts. And I'm excited about where golf's going.
Brian, I don't even have a follow for that. I mean, I can't. That was so good. That was I think we can all understand why you've been as lauded and with all the accolades and awards as you have. All I can say on behalf of everybody here, for not just the kind words, but also that encouragement and that passion there, is thank you. Thank you. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, John. A couple other quick notes.
Yes.
Get the kids used to being early. I know I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent. If you've got a 1 o'clock clinic, get them used to understanding the importance of getting there 15 minutes before that clinic to get ready and be prepared for the clinic.
Love that.
And this is a note for kids, but even perhaps more so for parents. It's really important for them to see that routine of what it takes to get somewhere on time. And the earlier you can do that in their lives, the better. Just get them there early. If you're running around crazy, and trust me, we all do, but try and have the crazy happen earlier so that you can get to your marks on time. And that's one of the things. That's why I love golf so much. I mean, you've got to make your tee time. You've got to be there. you show up late, go to the second hole and you're down a hole. It's important for those kids to learn early on that it's really important to be punctual and be on time and be professional. I'm showing my age here, John, but taking your hat off when you go inside, it's just the traditions are so powerful, and yet there's this whole new level of excitement as well. And getting there early, huge piece of advice that I can't give enough. The other one, this is simple: make your bed before you leave the house. I heard this from an old military speech somewhere. It was powerful.
I've seen that. That's great.
The person who said it, but make your bed before you leave the house. If a kid is in the routine of doing that, there's a different level of success coming for that kid. I'm telling you, there's a sense of accomplishment before you even get out the door, and get out the door early. I'll leave you with that.
Well, I'm convicted. I, as my wife will tell you, I'm usually pretty punctual, but I'm not the greatest at making the bed or anything else on that matter around the house, partly because she won't allow it.
We can all get better. We can all improve, John.
Mr. Brian, again, thank you for finding the time, man. I know that you're being pulled in 100 different directions, but you've been so important to us as an organization, to me as a friend. And so thank you. I can't wait to see you soon. I hope. And from all the families out there, they're going to really appreciate your words. All the families and pros that are looking and watching, are listening. Your words are both wise and exciting. So thank you, Brian Crowell, PGA Professional of the Year. And we look forward to the next time.
Yep. Well, I thank you. You're a great friend and a great person, and you're working for a great company. Again, U.S. Kids has created a great culture in golf, and it's continuing to this very day. And I wish you, the company, your family, all the best. And I'll see you very, very soon, I'm sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy.